Hi, Ben here and welcome back to the Craft Lab, and today we wanted to give you a few top tips on how to actually look after and maintain your bushcraft knife. So today what we're going to cover is how to maintain the handle, whether you've got a natural handle material or whether you've got a synthetic, and some of the tools, equipment and some of the actual finishes that you might need to keep your bushcraft knife in tip-top condition, so basically it will last you and maybe other people a lifetime. So first of all, we want to look at the actual blade itself. So we've got two of our knives here which have got two examples of the blade finish that you'll probably have. So you can either have a polished finish or what we call an acid stone washed finish, and you're going to maintain those in different methods. Now the polished finish is actually slightly easier to maintain. You can obviously keep it pristine like this very easily, or you can actually force a patina on it if you wanted to with either mustard or cutting certain vegetables, and that will put like a protective colour into it. But if you want to keep it polished like this, first of all, if it's a carbon steel, you'll probably find that it will tarnish with use, and obviously if you've been using wet timbers and things like that. If you're at all unsure what steel the actual knife itself is on our knives, if you flip them over and look on the underside of the tang, they normally have a little mark on there. So it will say ABL or RWL if they're stainless. If they're O1, they will have nothing on them at all. So obviously that means that it's a carbon steel. Now the scratch pattern on these goes from the handle to the tip of the blade if it's a polished finish. So you have to maintain that scratch pattern direction if you want to maintain the edge. So first off, we'll use one of my personal knives. This is actually ABL, but I'm going to demonstrate what it would be like if you were going to polish off any corrosion. Now this is in pretty good nick. So to sort of simulate some sort of rust and corrosion, I'm going to get this marker pen and I'm going to pretend that this is some sort of tarnish or rust on my blade, and then to show you how easily that is to clean up, we're going to use this material, and this is called Gariflex. This is an amazing rubberized abrasive which is basically flexible, but it's going to allow us to clean up that blade very easily and not damage our handle material. So all I'm going to do is go from the handle to the tip using the flat section of the Gariflex, and I'm literally just going to rub that back and forth, making sure that I'm aware of where the cutting edge is, because obviously I don't want to slip and cut my fingers. But very easily it will clean off that corrosion and tarnish, and it will leave a very nice smooth finish. If you use sandpaper on this, you'll put lots of different scratches in it. So the Gariflex works an absolute treat for that, and that gets rid of any of that corrosion. So that was the polished blade finish. But if you've got an acid stone wash finish on your blade, then the actual acid stone wash will give it a lot of protection from corrosion in the first place. So you'll probably find that you won't have to use the Gariflex on it. If you do get any pine resin or other things that stick to the blade surface, the best way to get it off first of all is to actually just use a little bit of WD-40 and spray that onto a little bit of cloth, and then just carefully wipe the blade clean. You'll find that the WD-40 will be enough to melt any sort of resin and basically disperse that off the surface of the blade. If you do have any strong corrosion on there and you do use the Gariflex, you will still have that nice sort of finish on the blade itself, but you will remove that black oxidized layer. So that's something to be aware of. So if you've got any corrosion on the actual bevel itself, obviously that's much easier to remove. If it's only a marginal amount of corrosion, the easiest way to remove it is actually just to go straight to your leather strop. And obviously if you're using something like Tormek paste, that's going to have enough abrasive in there to remove any of that corrosion from the bevel itself. So obviously that's easy enough done. Obviously place the bevel on the strop and then you can just draw it away from the cutting edge on both sides. Now if you've got anything major, if you've got any major damage to the blade, obviously you can remove that with sharpening, and you can refer to some of our sharpening videos for that. So when it comes to maintaining the handle, obviously we're going to cover natural handle materials to start with. So if you've got a wooden handle, you might find that if you've been in a very wet environment, you may find that the grain might slightly lift, especially if it's not a stabilised timber. Or if you've gone to a very dry environment, you may find that there's just a bit of atmospheric change. So first of all, what I would do is put some masking tape around the actual blade itself so you're protected from the cutting edge. And then if you have got to remove any sort of raised grain, if it's if it's quite severe, I would say that you could go in there with some very fine sandpaper. So you could use something that's probably 1200 grit or finer, and then obviously sand in the direction of the grain direction. So obviously from the butt of the handle right through to the tip again. So you're going to be sanding in this direction, and you can use it for cleaning up the tang as well. Now, if you find that there is no major grain lift, but you might find that with time, you may get a little bit of oxidization on the brass hardware that's on your handle. Rather than using sandpaper, again, I would use the Gariflex, and that's absolutely fantastic for removing that kind of tarnish that you get on the brass hardware. And you'll find that that will clean that up really easily and get that real nice shine going and remove any verdigris, but it won't put any deep scratches into your handle material. The Gariflex is also great if you've got any corrosion on the actual tang itself. Again, that will remove any of that tarnish from this blade steel without putting any deep scratches into your handle material. So basically, if the Gariflex doesn't work, then obviously use a very, very fine grade sandpaper. So if you've got either synthetic handle material or maybe a stabilized handle material, sometimes you will find that it will get a little bit of dirt sort of in the actual grain itself. Now, you don't want to use sandpaper to try and clean that up, because you'll probably find that that will actually make it worse. So what I tend to use is what we call mineral spirit, and you can get these amazing things called magic sponges, and basically you can wet that down with a bit of mineral spirit and then actually rub that on the surface. This is almost like an equivalent of like a Gariflex, but much, much finer. And that will help lift and remove any of that dirt that's in that synthetic hand material or stabilised handle material, and basically get rid of all that dirt and grime that's in there. So for all your wooden handles, the best thing that you can do, obviously after you've cleaned down any raised grain and obviously polished any corrosion off, we want to feed the wood and keep the wood nice and sort of hydrated basically, but with an oil. Now, I soak these for about 24 hours in this stuff which is called Liberon finishing oil. It's basically like a hybridized linseed oil, and it sets and it gives a very hard waterproof wearing surface to it. But the easiest thing to maintain all your wooden handles, whether it's your knife or your axe, is to use boiled linseed oil. Now, you can pour this into a little jar and actually soak the actual handle itself overnight. That's a really good way of doing it. But if you can't do that, or you haven't got enough oil, the best thing to do is to apply a really thick finish on there and leave it for about an hour, and then you can come in and take off all that excess with a clean cloth. And then often you'll see a knife has got a lanyard hole. The best thing to do is actually just hang it up in your workshop and then let that boiled linseed oil dry. Now, it's important that you take off that excess, because if you leave it really thick, you'll find that you get this very thick sort of sticky finish to the handle. So soak it for a bit, then take off the excess and then let it dry. And that's going to really help maintain that handle material, keep the grain looking good, keep it protected, keep it waterproof, and also prevent it from changing with the atmospheric change really. Now, wooden handles, if they're stabilised, you probably don't need to soak them in boiled linseed oil. I tend to use stuff called mineral oil. This you can get from cook shops and things, and it's what's used for putting on wooden chopping boards or kitchen worktops. And that's a little bit lighter. You don't have to worry too much about wiping the excess off, because that won't actually set like the boiled linseed oil. And that works really good. And obviously it's food safe as well. But when it comes to synthetic handles, obviously Makata and G10, the best thing that you can put on those, with the Makata, you can use the same mineral oil if you want to, or the old WD-40 again is absolutely fantastic for cleaning off any dirt, debris, any pine resin, but it will also bring that nice colour back. Works a treat on your G10 and bringing all that nice bright colours back to life as well. So obviously we've got our knife maintained, but the next thing we need to look after is the leather sheath that it's held in, obviously when we're out in the field. So obviously if you've got a leather sheath, just like the wood, you've got to keep it sort of hydrated. Obviously the leather will get sort of dry with use, especially if you've been in the wet and then bring it into the house. So you need to keep this nice and supple. So with our veg tan sheaths, we tend to use this stuff called golden mink oil. You can wipe that on to the surface, be quite liberal, get it all in the stitches, get it all in the belt loop, leave it for about 10 minutes, and then you can take off the excess, and that will give a really nice waterproof finish. But because this has got lots of nice oils and waxes in it, it will feed the leather and keep it nice and supple and perfect for many, many years of use. So obviously now that we've got our knife, blade and handle all maintained and nice, we want to protect it from the elements. So normally what I use on every kind of knife that I've got is camellia oil. Now you can either have it in a bottle form and just wipe it on with a rag, or you can use it in one of these handy little applicators. And the great thing about this is it's food safe, but it leaves a really nice thin coating of oil all over your blade, the bevel. You can put it on the tang, you can even put it on the handle if you want to. And it's just a very easy, convenient way of protecting that steel from any further corrosion. And obviously when you're storing it in the sheath, it will prevent any kind of condensation forming on the blade as well. So for long-term storage, say you've come back from a camping trip and you've maintained your knife and you want to keep it in a safe place for your next camping trip, what I would say is it's best to keep it in a fairly even temperature room. So don't keep it in a very hot sort of living room. Keep it in maybe an office, keep it in a drawer, obviously out of harm's way. And it's best if you actually store the knife out of the sheath, especially if it's a leather sheath. You'll find that the oils from the leather won't work very nicely with the handle material long term. So best to keep it out of the sheath. And also what I tend to use, rather than using the camellia oil, is I use this stuff called Renaissance wax. And you can lay that on, it will leave a really thick protective covering of wax on the blade and the handle material, and it will just prevent any kind of condensation or rust forming while you're sort of got it stored in a drawer basically. So Renaissance wax is great. And I'd almost do the same if I was traveling. If I know that this is going to be in my kit bag, maybe in the hold of an aeroplane or something like that, where it's going to be exposed to extreme temperatures, give it a good coating of Renaissance wax. And what I'll actually do is actually masking tape the blade up as well before I put it in the sheath for storage. It just means that if anybody is going through your luggage, they're not going to cut themselves, they're not going to cut your sheath, and it's just a much safer way of traveling with your knife. And then I'll put the whole thing in the sheath in maybe a little zippy bag or a protective tool roll, so that I know that it's going to be protected while it's traveling. So if you're a knife collector and you obviously want to be handling your knives, make sure that if you've got them out of your collection and you've been handling them, especially if they're carbon steel, the worst thing that you can leave on there is oily fingerprints. You'll not notice anything until about 3 months later, and then you'll see these rust patches formed in the shape of your fingerprint. So make sure whenever you're handling your knives, make sure that you have a nice clean cloth that you can wipe off those fingerprints, and then either use the camellia oil or that Renaissance wax, and that's going to really help keep your collection of knives in absolutely pristine condition. So hopefully that's given you a few top tips on how to look after your bushcraft knife, and please refer to the channel for obviously all those sharpening videos as well. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed seeing what we're up to, and remember to subscribe to the channel and click that bell for notifications when we bring out any other videos. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.